It is 10:30. Got to do a prompt start time when you're dealing with a free new audience. Freebie Patreon bonus. Ask me anything. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Finally, he's found a place where he can't overstay his welcome. His house, as long as his wife doesn't get sick of him. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Be bright and energetic. Christy Wagner, ChristyWagnerVO.com. What is up? Welcome into another free Patreon Friday. I don't like to do this every Friday, and I certainly don't like to do the Ask Me Anythings every single Friday, but it's weird because I'm a little bit under the gun today. I have to be in Muskegon at noon for a key sales meeting. And today was one of those days where it was like, shit, man, I think I used up all the stuff I want to talk about on the freebie. So here I am with my thumb up my ass trying to figure out what to talk about. And then I'm like, let's just do an AMA. And so hopefully while I set the table here for you, you're coming up with something good that you've always wanted to ask me. And you can ask me anything. You really can. And I more than likely will answer it. Seriously, you know me. I'm an open book. I have the only, pardon me, that sounded terrible. The only reason why I have any success in this industry, spoken word, is, just letting, saying what the hell you think and let the chips fall as they may, being completely and brutally honest with you about whatever it is that is on my mind and going on in my life. So go ahead, have at it. Ask me whatever the hell you want. I'll respond to that like a champ that I am. Damn it. Let me start by telling you that if you're new on this, the benefits of being on Patreon are numerous. First of all, you are keeping this podcast afloat. It is what is it? Because of the huge influx that when we started, I was put in my brain that I can manage this and do this podcast and make a living off it. It was because of you. So because of that, you really keep the podcast going. You see the video, you get the audio, it's commercial free. It's a little bit more loosey-goosey. I do a lot of interacting with the folks, which I will momentarily. Just ask your questions on the comments on YouTube, and then I will see them. I do that type of interacting all the time. Typically on a given day when I do the Patreon video live feed, we'll have 10 people. And, we've all kind of gotten to know each other, and they've become friends in all different parts of the country. It's awesome. I don't really do that too much in the Facebook. It's harder to do it that way. It's easier in this platform. Also, Bennett Flooring Installation has given me $25 a game for Dale's Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. Each week I play. If you are on Patreon, you are qualified to play Dale. But the only side thing is you have to let me know, okay, that you want to play. Because some people, because you have to download Skype and then I have to Skype you in. That's a process that I'll cover later. It's boring. But you got to let me know. You almost have to RSVP that you want to play Dale via email. Just let me know. It's the only way you can do it. Email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Then you play for the cash, just like the old school Dumber Than Zane game. You play Dale, though, and I'm running the game. You win, you get $25 or more, depending on whether or not, because Dale just beat the hell out of Kevin Kuiper. Dale smoked him 5-0. Kevin completely embarrassed himself. It was horrible. But anyway, so it's $50 on Monday when Dale plays again. You're in on that, too. Also, with Bennett Flooring Installation, they've given me a contest to run. They are running a contest on Patreon. If you sign up for Patreon or are already on Patreon, you are in the running for an April drawing that will get you a $1,500 carpet install. That's right. If you're on Patreon, you're in. You got nothing to worry about. I'll have that drawing in April. If you're thinking about signing up for $5 or $10 a month, which is nothing, and I give you a lot for that, you're then in the drawing. There's a few rules that go along with it. First of all, you got to be in Michigan. Okay, if you're not in Michigan, you're out. But I don't think there's anything wrong. I guess I should ask this question. If you win it and you want to bequeath it to another Zaniac show member, I said Zaniac, Zaniac show member in Michigan. You can, or somebody you know in Michigan. So thanks to them. That's some of the perks. I need to finish this coffee before I start looking at the questions. Again, ask me anything. Some of you people on here are new. Occasionally we get a troublemaker. We had an anti-Semite on last week when we did this, and I immediately reported him. If there is a troublemaker out there and any of the regulars sense that, let it go. It kind of clutters things up. And I see a lot of comments attacking the trolls. That's okay. Just let it go and I'll take care of it as it comes. Stand by. I need to drink this. Not done. There's more. All right. Another great night of rest with my two weighted blankets. 35 pounds of intensity hugging me. Madison has one too. She's got a 15-pounder. If she ever spends the night at a friend's house, I'm tempted to take the 15-pounder and put it on top of the 35 I have now. 50 pounds of awesomeness. I can't even roll over with the 35 pounds on me. Like, what the fuck, man? It's like I'm swimming. It's like I'm sleeping underwater. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm starting at the top. Kenny, yeah, he's in first. Tarantula Farmer Mitch is second. Kenny here. Jason, I got to reach out to you. Jason's the dude I mentioned on the podcast, a freebie, who's considering, he wants more information about potentially being a sponsor. Woo-wee. I love that. Hello to the multi-talented Melissa. I see a Steve Gunnick. I don't recognize the name, so that's a newbie. I think you've been here before, but I just don't see you that much. Topic, Mandalorian update. You now love the show. That's. I haven't watched a one since the last time we spoke of it. That last episode was so shitty. Apparently, there was a thread on the regular freebie podcast about koala bears. Apparently, I kept saying koala bears, and that's not a thing. They don't say that. I don't know. But Kenny his panties were all in a wad because I was saying koala bears. It's like, shut the fuck up, Kenny. Who gives a shit? Wait a minute. No, I might be getting that wrong. I don't know. There's some argument between the two. I don't even know what's going on. Jason says, I have always wondered back in the Freeburn Hot Wings days, maybe I missed it, but whatever went down with Cat Footwear and why did they stop sponsoring trivia? Seems sudden and unexpected. Yeah, there was no drama there. Not at all. They just, it just ran its course. That was terrific. I absolutely loved that. What I didn't love was the idea that, well, at first it was a good idea, but then it started to bother me because, and it still is to this day, the show always had a tendency to be a little bit too liberal with money. I know that sounds strange coming out of my mouth, but I never liked how we had to pay for things like when we'd visit a market, it would cost us upwards of $1,200, $1,500 just to go. Maybe I'm a little steep on that, but we all had to pay. Greg, Chris, Eric had to pay for parking for us and for anybody else on the show that was going. We had to pay for all the meals out of the business fund, and that's bullshit. And baggage fees. It always amounted to a lot of money. And I thought to myself, this is all horseshit. The affiliate, all those affiliates, there's like 2 or 3 that actually pay any money worth anything. All the other affiliates, I'm not kidding you, might pay $500 a month to carry the show. Most do it for nothing now. Ever since Kosan got in the mix, that fucker gives it away and then says, oh, yeah, sure, we're just going to sell sponsorships. It's like, yeah, what, to butt-fuck Egypt, man? There's nobody that listens in that market. It's a tiny town. What the fuck is wrong with you? So we would get roped so bad on that deal, and I always hated that, but it seems like every time I complained about it, I would get stared at and blinked at. It was always annoying as shit. And then it came down to this fucking dumber than Zane bullshit. And the bright idea was, let's take $500 of our own money every week and pay for it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's extravagant, but the audience will love it, so let's do it. And then we'll get a sponsor. That was like 10 years ago. There's never been a sponsor. Are you kidding me? Nobody's got to pay for that shit. So think about it. $500 times 52 is $26,000 for the last 10 years. That's a fortune. $260,000 out of my and their pocket. Why, you fucking dummies? Go get a sponsor. I was always pissed off at how liberal they were with the money. There was a little too much for me. I couldn't. God, keep me up at night. But anyway, yeah, nothing dramatic happened on cat footwear. Kenny says, wow, Jason, I never really thought about that. Just figured the contract ended. You were right. That's exactly what happened. Christina, the fiance of Tarantula Farmer, is starting a workout schedule for her and I. Yikes. Are you ever going to run a marathon again? How are you doing? All right, so that's great that you're starting the workout schedule for the wedding. Why don't you keep at it after you get done with the wedding? You got plenty of time. You got till October 17th. Just change the diet to a more modifiable thing. Spend a little time working out, and you'll be good to go. Are you ever going to run a marathon again? Probably not a marathon, a half for sure. I'm going to run more than a half, a 25K for the Fifth Third Riverbank Run coming up in May. I just started training on that. In fact, this is week 1 of a 16-week training program. I'm hoping to sign Strider's back on too very soon. Let's see. What is your running routine? Oh, God, that's boring. Mile repeats Monday, recovery run Tuesday, half mile repeats Wednesday, faster than the mile repeats. Thursday, recovery run. Friday, hill training. Saturday, long run. Sunday, nothing. Let's see. All right, keep them coming. I need questions. I need questions about anything and everything. I don't want to see good mornings and how are yous. I want something deep. Let's do this. There's got to be something you wanted to know. Maybe how I get the show running. Maybe something about the personal life. Maybe the family. Maybe my parents. Maybe my thoughts on this or my thoughts on that. That's what Ask Me Anything is all about. Get to it. You don't want me to stall and tell you my stone cold lead pipe lock of the week football predictions, do you? I can. If that's what I've got those. I was 2-2 last week, by the way. I was really disappointed that fucking Buffalo. What the fuck? You're up 16-0 at the half. The Buffalo faithful, those poor slobs. The Stu McAllisters of the world, man. You got Lions fans and Buffalo Bills fans. The Lions fans are consistently, dealing with shit. The Bills fans have been to the mountain and then fucking laid an egg every time. And then this time they're up 16-0 at the half and they fuck it up again. Oh, terrible. Let's see. Struggling, guys. Come on, get after it. Kenny says he's got to go to a web meeting. Yep. See ya. Bye. A lot of back and forth between Kenny and Sarah. Avoid the contact with each other. Makes it difficult on your host. Any thoughts on Hot Wings divorce? Now, that is a terrific question. You see, all you people that are talking to each other and playing slap and tickle, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is not a social club. That question by Andrew is an excellent question that I am going to answer, and I do have thoughts on it. Any thoughts on Hot Wings divorce? Let me just say that when I heard that news, I was like, wow, that is something. That is definitely big news. Well, first and foremost, I think of his little buddies. He's got 2 great kids. And I do know that there was the talk about how great they're doing a good job trying to make their homes as normal as possible. And yeah, that is all good, and I certainly hope that continues. Because sometimes, even though you have that, it's still a little dicey. So, especially as the kids reach adolescence, that's just because I've done this. So, and I don't have any bad feelings towards my dad, but my brother has some issues, and so I was I survived it okay, and I'm not a victim in any way, shape, or form, and I have a great relationship with my parents, and I have no doubt that Hot Wings kids will have the same scenario take place as what I did, or at least I hope that, and that's the thing about divorce. You just don't know the way this is going to go. It's kind of like a really unknown thing. So I can just keep my fingers crossed that everything works out great. Carrie's fantastic. I love her dearly, and I hope she's doing okay, and I hope Hot Wings is doing okay. And that's really all the thoughts I have about it. I don't have any information about this. I can just say that was a real shocker. And yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, I don't have anything really to say other than that I wish everyone involved in that the best, because to speculate about something like that could get your old pal Eric in the weeds, and we just don't want that, So I think at the end of the day, seems like it's going okay from what I'm hearing. I guess a lot of time has passed since it actually went down to when the world found out about it. But dude came out and said some things, and seems like everybody's letting him have his privacy. So that's really great. So that's about all that I have to say about that. Old Stevie, okay. Damn, I thought of a question the other day. Now I can't remember it. I hate that. Stevie, I want you and the toe sucker to be with me on tonight's event. Stevie revealed on the podcast in this exact moment that she is an adventurous person in the bedroom. So I want you and Dude to be there tonight. I want to see you guys in Slap 5. Oh, that couple's in love right there. If you're going to put a foot in your mouth, you're in love. If you're a person that puts a foot in the mouth puts your lover's foot in your mouth, now that is love. I love you. I am so proud that you get your foot sucked. And maybe if you guys get a few drinks in you, you can do an on-site toe sucking while we're together. For the party. Wouldn't that be something? All right, I want to keep it moving, keep the questions going. I have limited time because I got a big sales meeting in Muskegon today with some big shots. Let's see. Brian says Hot Wings got divorced. It's like, yeah, kind of a big story around here you hadn't been following. Jason, why did you have a non-compete with the station when essentially they fired you? He's talking about BBL, and due to restructuring on their part, not like you left on your own free will to bring the show elsewhere. Yes, that is true. And in Michigan, if I'd have fought that, I'd have won. But radio is a finicky cat. And not only is that expensive to fight, and I would have won. Anybody would have. The hiring company will not touch you with a 10-foot pole because they don't want to get sued either. They don't want to be dragged into that shit. So it's kind of like that. You're better off just sitting it out. It's the nature of the beast. Not like anybody wanted me at the time anyway. Hell, they still don't. So that's basically what happened there. Keep those questions coming on and ask me anything. I want to see some heavy-duty shit. Let's go. Brian says, if you had your pick with paying a person, and who wouldn't be a worry, who would you have as your co-host? I don't know, man. Probably Corey. Because right now, I don't want any. I want someone just to sit there because this is, and fire sound. And if I had something on my mind, I'd say, hey, what do you think? Because frankly, I have gotten so accustomed to looking at you, doing my thing, keeping it moving, hit, say something, get out, move to the next thing. That's an entirely different thing. And I have gotten very accustomed to it. Monologuing. That's what this is. I feel when I'm like, hey, so it seems like it drags to me. If I have to sit there with a person and banter with them, I prefer this. Actually, I have gotten so used to it now at this stage of the game. I've done this more than 1,000 times in 1 year. No, more like 500. I don't know. My math is bad. Maybe 1,000 hours. But yeah, I wouldn't. I just need a body right now who can read me. And right now, Corey is the guy, and I don't really have a need for Corey, to be honest with you. But going forward, if this show gets to 2 and 3 hours in length, then I'm going to sell it. And when I say I'm going to sell it, I mean I'm going to sell it to somebody who's going to. There's going to be another enterprising person into the mix. That's a lot of shit that I'm pulling back the curtain on. I have the opportunity to sell the show to a person who then I will have created it and now I'm running it, but I don't own it. Then I'd need another person. So when that day comes, maybe. But if not, I can just keep doing this. Who gives a shit? Let's see. Keto coffee. What the hell is that? Is that a thing? I have to look into that. Let's see. Sarah says, I miss hearing about Jim, Aubrey, and the kids. How are they doing? Awesome. How about that? Grayson, my grandson, my oldest, is learning to skate. He just picked up, he finally got him laced up. It's like 5 years too late, but he's 6. But we got him on skates finally. And then he's going to hopefully jump into the Learn to Play program. And then before long, he'll be doing his thing. Rowan is blossoming, though, with that autism. It's been remarkable. I've talked about many times how one day he was not talking, nonverbal, created his own language. Not kidding about that. Had his own language. And then the next day, you walk in there, goes, hey, Papa. I'm like, what? The first day he said, hi, Papa. I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? What? And now when I go there, when he's having a conversation, I still just stare at him. I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The brain is a befuddling mystery. His brain wired somehow mid-growth, and now he's like, it's cool. Unbelievable. Aubrey, doing great. Jim, doing great. They're together. Honestly, I wouldn't have expected this. Those two had so much. This is a Romeo and Juliet thing minus the death. Everybody was telling those two, you got to break up. You're not going to make it. Your life's going to suck. Everything's fucked. Well, now here they are. And Aubrey is, God, well, Jim's 20. Wait a minute. Yeah, Jim's 24. Aubrey's 26. Jim works every day, full-time job. Aubrey is kicking ass as a mom. I mean, it's against all odds. They're doing it. So I give them a lot of credit. They have taken a ton of shit and are making it happen. Do you have any sponsors that make stickers for the show? No, but it's a damn good idea. I should look into that, Nate. Thank you. Aaron says, have you ever considered Dale's talents? Yes, I have considered a 3-person show with Dale and Corey, like 3 people on here. Maybe better suited at some points to give advice rather than trivia. I absolutely agree. Nobody will be better than Meathead, but Dale would be a close second. I think that Dale is a personality, and I think that there are stranger stories of people getting involved in radio. Dale's would be a strange story, but radio has a tendency to grab people who are big personalities and put them front and center, and Dale could be that guy. But as you know, I am not equipped to go down this road yet. There's a lot of things that make that an impossibility. And it isn't because for lack of desire. I would love to be able to have that. Jason, do radio hosts get stuff for free that they advertise for, such as when you hear someone talking about getting LASIK, et cetera? Yes, sometimes. Is it heavily discounted as part of the advertising agreement? Yes, sometimes. Either or both. Sometimes the talent, the sponsor offers that so they can talk about it better, Sometimes that does happen. I don't have any of those agreements. I pay for everything, I think. Like with Blue Frost, I did a straight cash deal with them for everything. I don't. The only time I've ever traded has been for like the party tonight with Pepino's downtown. Stevie says, "Hey Zane, if Diana works for a school, why doesn't she have health insurance through them?" I'm glad you brought that up. First of all, she only works at 29.75 hours, something like that, and you don't have to. That's still a part-time employee. It means you don't have to get insurance, or they won't pay for your insurance, which is horse shit. So, I almost revealed it yesterday when I wasn't supposed to, but Diana just applied for another job at another school district that does offer that. And, man, the shockwaves, she had to inform her current employer, which she did. And so they're like, what? And it doesn't mean she's leaving because nobody's called her about potentially filling that position. But if they did and she took it, this would be one of those major bombshells where she works now. It sent shockwaves. So, but she's got to do what she's got to do. And this new gig does offer the health insurance. So that would be huge because then I wouldn't have to pay for it through Obamacare. Well, we'd pay for it, but it'd be better insurance, So she would pay for it, but it's, from what I understand, really... See, because my deductible right now, I have this very low tier coverage that is only really beneficial if there's a catastrophe, like Jackie's knee, she has to pay a deductible and she can't pay it. So I help her out when I can. But the deductible is like $8,000, but it's either that or pay $40,000 for a knee surgery. So it protects you from that, or like cancer treatment, something life-threatening. But this new policy would be just sweet because the deductible would be way low. And then I wouldn't have to pay for it out of my pocket. You just come out of her paycheck, which is still out of my pocket. Stevie says, Zane, Jesus, not on the freebie. Look, there's 8 more people listening. Come on. There was 10 when we talked the last time, Stevie. Come on. Just dry your toes off and relax. Steve says, what kind of sales meeting? I've got another client who wants to sign on. We need to put a finer point. We're midway through the negotiation. What was your personal favorite PA prank name? Man, I had a bunch. Toddler Fondler right up there. Ivan jacking off. Bud Vugger was a huge one. We always got tons of mileage with Bud Vugler. Manda Ray Peninfant was a big one. Holy shit, that one got dumped. Hey, if there's a Manda Ray Peninfant in the store, by the way, on Patreon, you're like, why don't you do those anymore? It's fucking a chore. It's just too fucking much. I'm in here all the damn time doing this shit, doing stuff in sales. The time might present itself sometime later down the road, but it's impossible. My God. Jizz Zinnerai was a good one. First name Jizz, last name Zinnerai. Oh, boy. And do you have any of that audio anymore? I think it's around here somewhere. Let's see. Stevie's dried off her toes and says Diana should apply at GRCC. Yeah, is it? I mean, she's like a parapro, though, for like developmentally disabled people and autistic kids. Let's see. Have any nationwide companies come to seek you on advertising? Not a one. Not big enough of a show. You got to get more listeners on like the free podcast in order to get that. I think you got to get like, oh boy, right off the bat, like 10,000 an episode, and I don't hit that mark that quickly. Eventually, but they got to. What they do is they say, show us your stats, because I've gone down this road. of your last 10 podcasts. I'm like, oh, boy. Because they're looking for that 10,000 number. If you're consistently over 10,000 on the audio podcast, they will say, all right, how about you talk about mattress.com or whatever it may be. Let's see. Nate says, would you be opposed if I ordered some vinyl stickers with the show logo? Wait on that because I might do it myself. I think I might have just unplugged my monitor. Stand by. I did. Come on back. Oh, that was frightening. I thought I just broke everything. Where are we? Andrew, do you talk politics at all? All the time. I always do, and it's great. My politics talk is always no bullshit. I don't slant it. I just say what's on my mind and how I feel. As you know, I'm very conservative, or somewhat conservative. I'm more of a moderate. You know, you don't see too many conservatives saying men should have sex with men if they want to. But you get the idea. I don't believe any of the shit the left says. I'll tell you that right now. There you go. There's your politics. You know, and I'm glad you bring that up because I hear so many shows on the radio say, yeah, we avoid that because we don't want to annoy anybody. We don't want to make anybody mad. I'm like, well, what the fuck are you doing then? What are you just going there and playing slap and tickle the whole fucking day? Say something. Do something. The whole world is talking about this. If you don't have the ability to, in an entertaining way, describe the things that the whole world is talking about, then find a way or get out. You have no business being in this medium and refusing to acknowledge what the whole world is talking about. If you don't have the ability to do that, you're a complete and utter failure who sucks at everything. It's an absolute embarrassment when I hear the shit that the world is talking about being flat out ignored by everybody because either A, they don't know how and not willing to try, suck, or are pussies. That's it. That's why if you're like, oh my God, this happened in the world, the whole Iranian thing that I've been all over. And if you notice that your show doesn't, it's because of all of the things I just said. Suck, don't know how, refuse to try, pussies. That's it. Let's see. Where are we? Did you see Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes? I did. He was funny. I didn't talk about it because I was ranting about the general being killed. Yeah, he was fantastic. He's very, very funny. I love the cringe-tastic moments and the things that he says, and he's just terrific. He's one of my favorite funny people in the world. He's just awesome. Love that guy. So talented. That's the thing. Comedians can be actors. Actors can't be comedians. They're spectacular. Okay, it's meeting time, and I am out of gas, and you are out of questions. We will do this again down the road. I don't think it'll be next week or anything like that. I think I'm going to give this a hiatus. If you do ever happen to think of a question, though, that you want to ask me on Ask Me Anything, you're going to forget it, okay? I want you to open up the note taker of your phone and then hit the microphone and say the question, okay? And then you'll have it there. And then the next time we meet, you can open that up and ask. These were fine. These were actually some very good questions. But I like more and more. I would love these AMAs to go like for an hour or two, okay? I can do this all day as long as you provide the questions. So next time we do it, I'll give you fair warning, too. I won't give you 10-minute warning like I did today. I'll give you plenty of warning. How does that sound? Deal? I think it is. As always, if I would appreciate you if you signed up on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can sign up for $5 or $10 a month. You keep the show going and keep us strong. And I will see you folks tonight. That's right, tonight at Pepino's downtown. Stevie will be there signing autographs. Stevie wants to take a picture with you and your foot. So what you do is you show up, and you take off your shoe and your sock, and you hold it up, and then Stevie will snap a picture with you and her. She got bright red hair. You can't miss her. All right. Thanks. Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.